So I've had a few inquiries on how I run my indoor sim league, so I decided just to make a video series on it and put it out there on my YouTube channel. So this is going to be initial, will be like a summary of what I do, and then I'll have another video that shows how I run it in my spreadsheet. So introduction wise, my league and your league could be different. I'll kind of explain how you can customize yours. My league runs from November through March. I'm in Pennsylvania, and that's when the weather goes kind of south. So you could run this league for a month, whatever. It doesn't matter how many times a week you meet. It's you could make it long, short, whatever. I'm just going to show you how I do mine. My goal when doing this, because it's a long season, and I didn't want anyone eliminated. I wanted to make it interesting for everybody all the way through the season and kind of keep everybody in the running. So that was kind of one of my goals, and you'll see how I ended up doing that. In my league, I have 11 players. You could have theoretically get as many as you want. It's just a matter of how much sim time can you get. So we meet every week on Monday nights because we watch Monday Night Football, and we play 9 holes. The reason we do 9 holes because we do 4 players at a time. I find that if you do more than 4 players at a time, it just drags on too long. So 4 players at a time. 8 players a night, so I've got 2 shifts. I have an early tee time and a late tee time. So I just, everyone says what time they can make it. And then every given week, because I have 11 players, 3 people are on a bye. So you just have to work that out for you. If you've got 12 players and we do the same thing, 4 would have to be on a bye, or maybe you do 3 tee times, but that makes for a really long night. So it's just something you got to work out. But my spreadsheet is pretty flexible with the number of players. We play on GS Pro. I have a Unicore launch monitor. Really, you can use any simulation software. This isn't tied specifically to GS Pro. You can do whatever you want. And then I did write everything up that I do in my league on the website hersheycup.rosslabs.com. It just kind of gives you a written summary of what I'm covering right now. If you'd rather read this than watch me blab it on about it. Payouts we do, everyone does buy in. It's a $40 entry fee, which gives me, with 11 players, it's a $440 budget. And just my payouts, in case you're interested. First place gets 185 bucks, second place gets 105, third gets 75, and then we have a ladder winner, which I'll explain that will make sense in a little bit. That gets $75, and then each night we have what we call these side bets. So each night people will chip in an extra 5 and an extra actually $10 total, but 5 and 5. So we'll give out that money to the lowest net winner for that night. So that really has nothing to do with the season long thing. And then we set up teams too to play something like a team Stableford team match play or something. If we have 8 players, we'll often do 4 teams of 4. Sometimes we'll do 2 teams of 4 against each other, and that's like another $5. But that's completely separate, just more of a fun thing because we're a bunch of gambling degenerates. So more details on the league. My league runs for 16 weeks. Each player has 13 matches, and they get 3 bye weeks. I also give them the option of having one miss week too. So a bye week is pre-scheduled, and I'll show you how I set up the schedule. Let's say that something comes up and they can't make it some night at the last minute. They can always switch a bye week with somebody, but let's say they absolutely can't make it. They can't find somebody to switch. I give them basically, you can miss one night unannounced and it still doesn't move you up or down the ladder. So I know you don't know what the ladder is, but it'll make sense in a little bit. If you win your match, your name goes up the ladder. And if you lose your match, your name goes down the ladder. So any given night, you are matched up. You're playing against somebody else. We do match play Stableford. And if you win against that one-on-one match, your name goes up the ladder. And then we have a schedule, and I'll show you all that stuff. At the end of the regular season, so when we get those 16 weeks, your ladder position, let's say you've won, your ladder, you did pretty well and you went up 4 rungs in the ladder. Okay, so you're a +4. If you were a 10 handicap, you are now a 14 handicap. All right, so now what we do is I take that 14 handicap, and that is now your handicap for the last 3 rounds, which are the championship rounds of the season. And the person that comes out of those last 3 championship rounds with the lowest net score wins the championship. So in other words, how you do in the regular season doesn't make, you're not going to automatically win the championship, but it helps you. right? So someone who maybe finishes at -2 on the ladder, well, their handicap's going to go down, so it's going to be harder. They're going to have less strokes against someone whose handicap went up because they were way up the ladder. Okay. And like I said earlier, we do side bets each week for the lowest net of the night and team play, but those are completely separate. But the spreadsheet takes those into account. So let's talk about, in the next video, I'm going to walk you through my spreadsheet, which is going to make much more sense when I talk about this ladder.